Then would you want to try and die? Can you imagine that unending terror? I lived through 3 movies. The first one was Nightmare on Elm Street 1. There were 15 newbies in that movie and 2 experienced risers. But do you want to know the ending? They all died in their dreams. Me and another person were the only ones that survived. Do you want to know how it feels to get killed by a stupid dream? Imagine everything around you becomes slithering water meat. You watch as a pair of scissors slowly cut through every bit of your body in a gruesome frenzy. Can you imagine the pain? You piece of shit. Do you want to die? Black Hair was shouting like a madman. His intent to kill was so vivid and obvious in his eyes. The chubby dude was scared and unable to move, and with a gun in his mouth, he couldn't even breathe. Zheng and the other 4 people persuaded them to break apart. Black Hair walked back to his seat and said, "Dying in a horror movie is a real death. Furthermore, when you die here, you will be tortured by the devils in these movies. So if you don't have determination to live, I advise you to kill yourself now." A girl with glasses said, "Then we don't have a way to return to our bodies?" Black Hair said with a sneer, "I have been saying it is not your consciousness that came into the computer. Do you think humans have the technology to create this game? No, this is the work of God. We are nothing more than bugs in His eyes. We are thrown here to struggle just to entertain Him. Both our bodies and consciousness have been brought to this world and can't go back. At least I don't think we can go back." The glasses girl had a sense of calmness. She thought for a moment and said, "By your turn, it seems like there is still a way to go back." Black Hair took a look at her and said, "The quality of this time's newbies isn't bad. You are right. There is hope to go back." Everyone stared at him. Every time you finish a mission, that is, you live through a movie, you will obtain 1,000 points. You can exchange these points for lots of things, such as the right to live in a movie for 100 days. Black Hair said. A middle-aged guy said, "Who would want to live in a horror movie? That is asking to die." Black Hair remained quiet. Glasses Girl said, "No, I think I understand what he means. There are many genres of horror movies, sci-fi like Resident Evil, where everything can be explained with science. You just have to go outside of where the main events are happening. Then the rest of the world is normal." Black Hair slapped his finger. "Bingo. You can indeed live in another part of this world normally for those days. Think about it. After experiencing a couple of life and death travels, the chance to live normally in this world is a blessing." Zheng's body shivered. He thought he understood the meaning of this word a bit. Yes, the reason he was feeling rotten was because his life was boring. Once you experience life and death, then the mundane life would become what you wish for. Black Hair continued. Other than exchanging for time, there are many other things, such as this Desert Eagle with unlimited ammunition. It only took 100 points. That's 10 days of time. You can also use points to improve yourself, including intelligence, mental capability, reaction time, cell vitality, muscle density, and immunization strength. In other words, if you survive through this movie, you can double your strength. If you live through 100 movies, you can become a superhuman. Glasses Girl asked calmly. Let's get back to the points. How many points does it take to get back to our world? 50,000 points. Black Hair took out another cigarette. If you don't use any points, you just have to live through 50 movies. Then you can go back. Suddenly, everyone quiets down. According to this guy, if you don't use your points, it would be impossible to live through 50 movies. Of course, 1,000 points is the basic reward of every movie. You can do side quests in movies to earn points, like when I explain everything to you, according to God's rule. Explaining to newbies will reward 100 points. You should have noticed that special watch on your hand. He waved his left hand. There was a black metal watch. Everyone looked at their own left wrist. There were a few lines of info on this watch. A timer that was counting down from 3 hours 7 minutes. A counter for zombies, lickers, newbies. You will get 1 point for every 10 zombies you kill, 100 points for every licker, and 1,000 points for every newbie. He looked at everyone with a wicked face. Only Zheng and the Glasses Girl looked back calmly at him. Of course, that's negative 1,000. Okay, if you have any other questions, hurry up and ask. This movie is about to begin.